Look at that, taking away some supports with pick potential away from ESC right now.
Yeah.
And Italy as well, giving them a lot of trouble last time.
Well, here's the interesting thing is that while MYM may not have been, you know, as familiar with their opponents last game, this is another European team. There's a really good chance that they've scrimmed against Icy Box in the past. They know their style a little bit better. And there's a Shyvana ban against MYM.
All right, this has left the Lucian pick up and available, however.
Yeah, will Mackler pick it up, though? And they're going to go with Caitlyn. Interesting that they would pick Caitlyn after Annie and Fiddlesticks have both been banned.
Well, I mean, there are a lot of support options. They could play something very safe with Sona Caitlyn, and
it's going to be taken away.
Yeah, may just take that away to avoid having to deal with a very safe, very poke-oriented lane.
Not a bad idea.
They're going to grab the Vi, so a lot of hard CC already getting snapped up by ESC in this game.
Yeah.
Now, the Caitlyn was probably also a takeaway pick. We can see that ESC picked Caitlyn in their last match.
Right.
So they are probably pretty comfortable with that champion, and with the Fiddlesticks ban as well, they're trying to push ESC outside of their comfort zone a little bit.
Now the question is, you know, do maybe MYM go for something possibly Nunu-centric? We've seen a lot of jungle Nunu pop up in Champions lately. You know, is that going to kind of leak over to the EU scene a little bit? Looks like Zyra and Lee Sin, though, the possible pickups for MYM.
Well, they do maybe want that long-range harassment coming out of a support Zyra to couple with the Caitlyn, so a very distant lane in terms of poke and pressure, and a very strong one as well.
Yep. Chris and Scott Law, now the pickups for Icy Box, for ESC Icy Box. And will it be that Orianna mid? We'll see. Last mid lane that Chris played in the tournament was Gragas. They're going to pick up Nasus, though, and the Ezreal as well. But will that Ezreal go mid, or is that going to be for their AD carry?
In this situation, against a Caitlyn Zyra, Ezreal would be a very safe pick, so I anticipate that being the AD carry selection. Nasus can, of course, will, of course, be going into that top lane. There's a small chance we could see him in the mid, but
makes sense. Yeah.
Probably not.
I doubt it.
In this case, I mean, they've set themselves up with some nice scaling into the late game. They have the Nasus as well to get the Wither onto Caitlyn, who doesn't have, you know, any attack speed steroids already. So if you can get that Wither down, it will be quite effective. And they may be going for a siege composition of their own after seeing how effective it was last game. A Ziggs Caitlyn Zyra combo would be quite potent.
Yeah, and you and I were talking about this a lot lately, actually, in Korea, the possibility of a Ziggs coming back and Swain.
No, Singed.
I would have been happy with Swain, though, but it is going to be Singed. Ziggs in the middle, though, that's cool. Yeah, Ziggs really fits in well with the current kind of post-World Siege meta that we're embroiled in right now.
Yeah, as many of you know, I've been an advocate of Ziggs since the rework. I think he's a very strong champion right now, and we've seen him a little bit in competitive play. CLG running him at IEM Cologne.
Yep.
And that worked out very well for CLG at that event.
Indeed it did, so possibly Fizz for mid-Chris there.
So they've got this split-pushing Singed, and then they have, basically it's a 4-1 split-pushing comp that we're seeing out of MYM right now. So they're switching things up. After trying out this kind of low-damage, all-in, heavy CC composition last time, a total 180 into a Siege comp, they saw what the Wolves did, how it took them apart. Now they're going to try it on their own. Now, Icy Box, on the other hand, they're trying to shut down this Caitlyn in terms of team fights, but the Fizz isn't going to offer much wave clear early. So if MYM can start sieging soon enough before Fizz gets a lot of kill pressure with items, they're going to be in a very good position.
I think it's quite possible. We'll see. And there's that WCG trophy waiting for whoever ends up winning this week. Let's take a look at our rosters. On the MYM side, Kuban on Singed, Zaru on Ziggs, Mokade on Lee Sin, Mackler on Caitlyn, and finally it's Sport Libic on Zyra. And over on the ESC Icy Box side of things, as we move over to the other booth here on the main stage, it's going to be Shesuj at Nasus in the top lane, Dose on Vi, Chris LFT on Fizz, Scott Law on Ezreal, and Fail Factory on Sona. Hopefully we won't be seeing any Fail Flash crescendos.
That would be rather tragic.
It'd be a bit sad. Well, here we go, guys. The game is loading. There's some crazy icons on the Chinese client. Wow.
They have, apparently they have like cartoon flares of champions. Like
I guess so.
Chibi flares. It's really interesting. I've never seen them before.
Interesting stuff. If only you could see what we see. But soon you'll see MYM versus ESC here as the last match on WCG 2013. So far, two of the players have not connected yet. Hopefully they will, but if they don't, it's okay. We're used to this situation. We are professional pause fillers.
That's right.
We are now, actually.
That's what it says on my business card, actually.
Pause filler?
Professional pause filler.
Professional pause filler. Or PPF for short. Monte Cristo PPF.
All right, they're loading in now, so no need to worry.
One of them, anyway. Still waiting for Fail Factory.
There we go.
All right, he's in. Good. Good, with that Pentacle Sona skin.
And interestingly enough, Charu actually going for cleanse in the mid lane here.
Huh.
So that'll be a bit curious. He may be starting trying to stop some of the damage over time coming in so that he's not instantly blown up by Chris.
Could be, yeah. Worried a little bit about the all-in at level 6 possibly as well.
That actually is a really interesting way to deal with some of Fizz's damage. I'm intrigued to see how it's going to work out for him.
I like it. Well, guys, it is time to get in the game. The players are loaded. Summoner's Rift awaits. MYM versus ESC Icy Box here in Group A on the World Cyber Games 2013 Grand Finals with Adoa and Monte Cristo. Thanks for watching, guys. And here we go.
Here we go indeed. And actually a flask start for Kuban this time around. So not going to be going with Doran's Ring for that little bit of extra damage. A bit of a safer way to deal with this lane. Teleports on both our top laners.
Yep.
Coming in here. And I'm excited to see how this map movement works out.
Yeah, we'll see. A little bit of action in the bot lane. Mackler down there, and the 4-man invade.
Yeah, nothing
coming in from MYM.
Yeah, nothing that ESC can really do to stop this. They do get appropriate wards down, though, to see the pathing of the 4-man. We'll have to see how useful that Tri-Brush ward actually ends up being. It will give Chasuge a little bit of extra laning protection, should he need it.
Yeah.
But nothing too aggressive coming out so far.
Chasuge. That's a tricky one. Dose. Moving to the jungle there. And so, not a lot of level 1 action. Just a couple, really one semi-deep ward coming in from MYM, but that's really about it. And what would a game here be without a pause? What's it going to be? Looks like MYM.
Yeah, Makate, looking around in confusion. There he is.
A little bit of an issue.
Pointing out something on his monitor, it would appear.
That's not good.
So I'm sure we'll get that solved quite quickly.
Yeah, could be a glare from one of the lights or something like that. Although there aren't really any lights that should be shining in there, so should be okay. Either way, I'm confident that we're going to come out of this on the other side stronger, Monte Cristo.
We will.
We will.
Better than we were before.
That's right.
It's a trial by fire.
Trial by pause. That's right.
Worse than fire.
That's right. It's like that. It's like, I don't know, some sort of torture where you endure something mild over and over again.
Chinese water torture?
Could be. Could be.
It's the constant drip.
Drip. Pause. Eventually, they're like clawing out our eyes by the end of the week. Like, no, not another pause. Can't take it anymore. And luckily, we have probably the most impressive beard in the entire building helping with this issue. I've walked around the floor and I've not...
All pauses require good beards to fix.
I guess so. Where's Rivington when we need him?
I know, exactly.
Yeah.
This pause would never have happened.
That's true. It would have been preemptively bearded by Rivington. That's right. I can see that happening. No beards in that booth, but no problems too. So I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I don't know. You can never really go by those if-then fallacies. Absolute fury on the face of Mikado.
All right. Well,
Mikade.
I mean, I'm not really sure. I'm a bit worried about the team that we're seeing from ESC right here. Just in terms of the fact that they don't... I mean, if Chasuge doesn't level Spirit Fire early, he's going to have he's going to create a lot of problems just because of the poor wave clear, and they really are going to be relying on him for that ability if they want to save turrets against any kind of siege that's going to be coming out of MYM. And also, I mean, for laning purposes as well, Kuban will probably try a little bit of dirty farming behind the turret. And so he'll need that to effectively CS as well. So fortunately, leveling Spiritfire does double duty for him.
Yeah, I got to say, I really do like MYM's position coming into this game. And, you know, again, a win here would do quite a bit. I mean, you only have to be top 4 to make it out of the group.
Indeed.
Oh, that's where we are. WCG 2013.
You have to be top 2 to make it out of the group.
Oh, top 2, my bad.
Yeah, but we have 4 groups. So,
right.
And each group should have 5 teams, but with Millennium and Complexity dropping out, not so many competitors in each group right now. And that's why Group A, you know, doesn't have as much competition. So MYM have a very realistic chance to make it out here, even with a loss against the Flash Wolves.
I would say so. And we'll see what this issue ends up being. So far, though, what we really need right now is just more Fall Out Boy music.
That's right.
Right? Like our intro.
Uh-huh. It was very exciting.
That's right. I think so.
You know, someday
I don't sense sincerity in your voice, Monte
Someday
Cristo.
I hope to say to somebody, in all earnesty, I'm going to change you like a remix. And then I'm going to raise you like a phoenix.
I want to talk about Jack-o'-lanterns in July. And
you know,
what's the next line? Fire falling from the sky. I don't know. Who makes a jack-o'-lantern in July? Well, I guess Fall Out Boy does, but who normally does this?
You know, the most puzzling thing about that song to me is I actually can't tell out of the remix Phoenix rhyme which one they were trying to rhyme with. Like, what was the original idea there, and then why was the other one chosen? Like, if you say remix, and you're like, we need a rhyme for remix, and then they just settle on Phoenix, because there's not a lot of options for rhymes.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going for League of Legends, it could be like, I'm going to reset you like a Kha'Zix.
But it's the two syllable rhyme, right? Like Kha'Zix doesn't.
Oh, it's
remix Phoenix. Like.
That's why I'm not on Fall Out Boy. I auditioned, but they didn't let me in. That's why.
That's really tragic.
And thus, Doa's rap career came to a crashing halt. Oh well.
I for one would have wanted you on Fall Out Boy.
Thank you. I don't know if anyone else. I don't know if I want that. You know, we should really make a rap group with Chobra. He can beatbox.
He can.
And we can talk.
That's right.
That's all you need, I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure that's what rapping is.
And talking. Yep.
We got this.
And real issues to talk about, like how much money we have and how great our boats and cars are. I'm talking about the hard-hitting stuff that hip-hop, the real issues that it addresses, you know? Like how we prefer certain girls.
Or kinds of champagne.
That's right, or kinds of champagne, yeah. The certain metal accoutrements that we wear about our body, such as chains and watches.
Very nice. Uh-oh.
The blades on our Impalas. And we're back.
Our jungle was entirely invisible for just a moment right there, but Makate will go ahead and pick up the blue on the invade.
Whoa.
They have good eyes on Dose right there.
I think the red buff was invisible too.
All right, well, ESC's in a bit of a conundrum right now because they didn't get good wards down early, so they actually don't have a read on what the jungling route is right now from Makate. But Dose, is he going to go for a level 2 gank? Is he going to take a little bit of a risk here and go for a blue steal? Looks like he will. But Makate coming right around. He's not taking his red. He's read this situation properly, in fact.
I see what he did there. Makate coming over the wall, and he's going to have the Q right for the face of Dose. And he comes through. He actually does land it on Dose. Does he go in? A little bit too late. Doesn't get that.
About half a second too late to actually contest for the smite right there. It was a good idea by Makate, but Dose will escape with the red buff, or with the blue buff, rather.
Oh,
and
Zaru, he needs to get out of there, man. Okay, he does have...
Goodbye.
He does have the satchel charge, so he's good. Yeah,
satchel charge down, so no real threat there. And a level 2 Vi gank isn't going to be too scary.
Wow, look at that. Jesus already so low.
Yeah, but in this situation, he's got the flask, he's got the health pots, he'll be able to make it out just fine. He's pushing the lane really hard, trying to deny some CS early. Makate gets caught out by Dose in the jungle.
He does, but who caught who? Actually, Fail Factory coming up as well. Makate in big trouble, has to flash away the Ignite, ticking down, and Makate will live for now.
Yeah, they used 2 summoners from the support for that. Didn't even pick up the kill. They did blow the flash from Makate.
Mackler trying to protect that red buff. They know they don't want to give that one to Dose. And a lot of damage coming in. Satchel Charge pushes back and stuns Fail Factory. Fail Factory in a lot of trouble. Is this going to be first blood? Going now down onto Chris. They both get away. Oh, man.
Well, actually, MYM really should have played that more aggressively, and Shasuj actually has to teleport out. He teleports right onto a minion next to him. Is it going to be enough to poison? Takes down.
Did he just literally teleport to a minion right next to him?
Yes, he's actually laughing.
I don't know what's going on. The pauses are affecting everybody.
It did make him invulnerable. There was a chance that the actual minion aggro could have killed Kuban right there.
I suppose.
But it was a pretty risky move, but he may not have had time to move his mouse. So Dose goes ahead and taps those raids.
Oh, a lot of damage onto Dose. Charu coming down. Oh, there's the Ignite, and there's another kill for MYM. Chris actually maybe in a little bit of trouble in the mid lane as well.
Yeah, Makate coming in, does pick it up with some ticks off of his red buff.
Yeah.
And Libic with a nice roam to add the CC they needed to take the advantage. Look at this ESC coming in response.
Yep, Scott Law going really hard onto Mackler. Libic trying to zone a little bit as well, taking some hits. Gonna be okay. Fail Factory still a bit low on health and no mana as well. Here comes Kuban over the top, uses teleport to get down there, trying to spread the poison, and there's one kill. Fail Factory does go down, and Scott Law gonna be lonely in the bot lane.
And this is one of those times where you realize how much just using that teleport early by Shasuj did, because there was no way to counter teleport in that situation. The wave was pushed up, and it gave basically an easy kill over to MYM in the bottom lane with no possible counter as they pushed up a little bit too far. So ESC not respecting the teleport as they shoved past the wave right there in an attempt to punish Libic from roaming.
That's right. And usually you need 2 hands to play League, but I think he might have just been moving somewhere. Okay, there we go. We're okay. I was like, not another pause. All right, well, Kuban in the mid lane now, holding that until Saru gets back. And so far, a pretty great game for Kuban overall. 2-0-0, already has that Catalyst to the Protector as opposed to just the Ruby Crystal for Shasuj.
So we have a bit of an interesting start right here. He's going for Tier first instead of Chalice, as we can see. So Charu, that is a bit risky, especially if you're worried about the burst coming out of Fizz. You may want a little bit of extra MR from the Chalice, but instead he's going to go for the long game and play for that Seraph's Embrace for, getting the same kind of mana sustain in there, but also having a shield and a little bit more damage. But this will leave him vulnerable to Fizz all-ins in the mid-game.
Yeah, a little bit risky. Let's see how it goes on. Kuban coming in onto Seshiz. I'm getting the hang of that name. Seshiz.
Shasuj.
Seshiz on the run, gets a slow. There's a slow, actually, Makate coming up. And now Seshiz in big trouble, gets flipped. And he's going to go down, even with those turret hits. Onto Makate, and he looks pretty enthused about that one.
Yeah, nice setup on the gank right there, and that'll be a 3rd kill already for Kuban. And the problem now is that
huge,
there's nothing they're going to be able to do. He's going to get an extremely early Rod of Ages. He's actually probably getting relatively close already.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you can get a 10-minute or an 8-minute Rod of Ages, that is massive in terms of what you can do, and it's also leading to this red push right here.
Yeah.
Lots of pressure on the turret.
Oh,
Charu
a little bit caught here.
In.
There's a slow. Chris flashes over. There's a cleanse. Zaru trying to get away. Can Chris finish him off? Diving deep to get it. He does get it. Chris taking a lot of turret hits. Anyone there to capitalize? Actually, Makate coming down from the top. Meanwhile, some action bot lane. And there's an actual real person. Fail Factory taking a lot of damage. Mackler coming up to try to secure that kill. Can he do it? Still just level 5. No ace in the hole available. So that one's going to get away from him. Meanwhile, Makate chasing deep into the jungle, trying to find Chris, but he's not going to get him.
Now he will come around to the blue buff, however. Makate already with the red steal here, and maybe going for the blue as well, but he'll be met in the jungle by Dose.
Yeah, he will indeed. They're going to fight it out over that blue buff. Well, at least we'll see that on the mini-map anyway. Mackler getting some free hits onto Scott Law, throws on the True Shot Barrage. Libic and Makade trying to take this blue buff, and they should be able to get it. We'll see. It's going to be a bit of a toss-up here. Smite's up for, well, just Dose, actually, rather, so.
Yeah, they don't want to go.
They might still be able to scare him away, but that's risky.
They're trying to wait out the Smite here. Smite almost up for Makade, so he goes ahead and lets the blue buff reset. There is a ward there spying them.
Yeah.
And Dose going to clear out his wolves and see who has more patience in this situation. Makade comes back for it, however. Charu there as well, throwing bombs over the wall.
Yep, want to give it over to him. Whoa, that's a move I haven't seen Lisa do before. He's eluding new abilities.
Yeah, it looks like we're having some a little bit of lag here with the spectator client. This shouldn't be happening in game, by the way, guys. Sometimes the spectator client just lags like this.
That's true.
Without affecting the actual gameplay. Otherwise, we would have for sure seen a pause from the players.
Well, we know they're not afraid to do that if they need to. So
yes.
It's going to be fine. Whoa, Singe walks through walls now.
Amazing.
All sorts of new abilities.
That's what happens when you're 3-0-0 and
incredible,
Singed.
yeah. You gain the ability to walk through walls.
Okay, well, see if he gets this Rod of Ages when he goes back right now. Probably just picked up enough money. Yeah, it's a sub 10-minute Rod of Ages. Now, that is extremely fast, so he's going to get all of his stacks on that item before 20 minutes. He's going to hit a huge power spike. And Kuban in a fantastic place right now. Meanwhile, Shasuj does have a chance to port while his opponent is on cooldown, but he has a very limited window to use that timing.
Yep. A lot of damage being put onto that bot lane turret by Mackler and Libic right now.
Yeah, there's pings going down to that ward. Here's the teleport coming in. This is great timing.
Yep, that's right. They're coming in now. Can they catch them? Nice roots to lock up Shashuz immediately. And look at that. They may actually just be able to escape. Just like that, Zyra Ultimate tries his own again. Libic takes some damage. Mackler hanging out in the brush for now. And here comes Kuban coming in right onto Scotwell. Makade is there as well. Zaru in the back. He's got that Ziggs Ultimate not quite off cooldown just yet. But it's a huge win for MYM in the bot lane. And the Q, the bouncing bomb, gets the kill for Zaru. Libic escapes, and all of that started off with that beautiful roots.
That was very well played.
What a play.
And the teleport for Kuban came up right during that battle, so he was actually able to get in there as well. It'll lead to a dragon here. MYM looking dominant in this one. Great use of their teleports all game, and ESC hurting a little bit. I mean, right there too, just the play from Libic all around to kite with the roots, then hit his ult with the Strangle Thorns, keeping himself alive the entire time.
Yeah. Zaru takes out the bot turret. Mackler rotates up to mid. A lot of damage onto Chris. Chris wants to get something done, but has to back off a bit.
To Chris's credit, he has been doing a good job at farming this game. He is, in fact, ahead in CS.
Yeah, he's got a kill and no deaths, too.
Right, his team's only kill, so...
He's down by about 100 gold to Zaru at the moment, so things could be a lot worse.
Oh, yeah, and if you consider, too, the fact that he's been laning against a very dominant zone champion in Ziggs.
Yeah.
He's been able to keep the wave pushed. He's been able to keep the pressure on. He's actually done some damage to Charu as well. So getting the one kill of the game for ESC.
Yeah, man, there's just going to be no stopping Kuban at this point, though.
No, this is really terrible for ESC. You can see right now there's just nothing this Nasus can do.
Yeah.
I mean, he's trying to get some magic resist, trying to get some CDR, but he absolutely can't stop.
Yeah, Kuban's just going to take down that turret. Nobody coming up to help as well. It's got to be pretty nice.
So trying to zone out Fizz a little bit here with the minefield. Charu doesn't look entirely comfortable on this champion yet.
Yeah, I would say so.
The minefield still allowing Fizz to farm right there. You probably want to use that more as a tool to control your minions so that you have some say as to where the melee champion can and can't farm. And there is a tower down in the top lane as MYM takes a commanding lead.
Yeah, it's not getting any better for ESC. And now Shasu's taking some damage from Kuban in the top lane. Intent looks on their face, and now Makade comes over the wall. There's a nice Dragon's Rage to kick him back into the brush. But Shashuz pops that ultimate. Can Kuban chase? Here comes Dose, and they're going to have to give it up.
Yeah, they will, but they did force the jungler to come up into the top lane as well, so they will be able to push out in other lanes. We do see Scott Lull and Fail Factory moving into the mid lane in order to contest this objective. Pings going down from ESC on the relatively low Kuban and Mokate.
Yeah.
Dose maybe looking to come over. This is a little scary.
Might not want to. Right onto Makade. Kuban is right there. He's going to go into the Dragon Pit. Gets caught by the Fizz ultimate, and that's going to be a kill for Chris. Nice pickup there.
That was a very nice combo by ESC, actually, to chain that and be able to follow over the wall. So they get another kill.
They catch Chris completely. Chris gets out with a playful Trickster, though. Yeah, it's really, really tough. That is a giant plan.
Yeah, the pressure they're going to be able to put on the mid lane, though, is pretty substantial. They may be able to take it down. Mockler, in the meantime, continuing to push this bottom lane, continuing to get some damage down on the turret.
He's had a really good game on Caitlyn so far. Zoning from that minefield from Ziggs. Turret getting even lower health. Actually, Fail Factory very low as well. Zaru needs to back off a little bit. Chris coming in.
Yeah, getting some damage down right there.
Yep.
So, but everybody on ESC so low, they won't really be able to defend this turret meaningfully at all with how few HP it has. And they're delaying the recalls right there, too. Smart play by Libic, who's having a strong game so far.
Oh, yeah. He's had some really, really nice roots. He's been in the right place at the right time. And there goes the mid lane turret. This bot lane, tier 2 in trouble as well. 3-0 so far. All the outer turrets taken down by MYM so far.
The buff control, too, has been fantastic. They're going to hand the blue over to Mockler this time. And, I mean, MYM just dictating this game from start and probably until finish.
Yeah, I would say so. At this point, it's going to be pretty tough for ESC to come back. They've got a pretty big gold deficit at just 1430. Mackler walks through a ward right there, but I don't think he's too terribly worried. He's had a great game. 3 assists so far. Good CS, 120. And getting pretty close to finishing that Bloodthirster.
Chara's Ziggs build is really mystifying me right now, Doey. It's tiered
so low
into
damage.
Seeker's arm guard.
Yeah.
So I'm not exactly sure what he's concerned about. I mean, maybe he's concerned about the sheen damage coming out of Fizz, but it is a bit of a strange pickup.
You know, I feel like what we're seeing here, though, is just really minion control-oriented sieging Ziggs. You know, we've got everything that makes him more durable and gives him more mana for sustain. So he's just there, I think, to just toss bombs upon bombs upon bombs in whatever lane he ends up in.
Well, he will be able to get the Zhonya's Hourglass, too, to help him survive the Ziggs burst if Ziggs all-ins him. So.
Oh, Libic, they're going to use the ult on him, actually. Jashu's coming in as well. Libic flashes over into the mini Golem alcove. Fail Factory coming over the top. Kuban right there gets the slow down. Onto Jashu's. Libic dodging into the brush. They throw the ward down to try to catch him. And there's a Fizz ultimate. A ton of ults used to finally lock up the support from MYM. I am not sure that all that was worth it.
Well, it depends on how fast they can rotate afterward. Makate's responding by pushing down into this bottom lane.
Yeah.
Mockler quite low, but Makate looking to make a play. Kuban continuing just to farm up here. Uninhibited. There we go. There's a kick backwards.
Yeah, he's in a little bit of trouble. Arcane Shift right after that. He does still have Flash available there. Uses it. Ace in the hole. Comes down the Q as well. And Makate might be able to get the execute. Can he do it? Scott Law so low. And Fail Factory trying to save him as best he can. Scott Law somehow, some way, gets away.
Yeah, it forces a flash out of Sona, though.
Yep.
So
Ziggs ult coming down. Where's it going to land? Who knows?
I guess we missed that one, but
I guess so.
Yeah. Fail Factory and Scott Ball not quite able to be taken down, but Kuban and Charu continue to chip away at this mid tower while clearing out the minion waves. There's just nothing they can do against this kind of pressure. Kuban is vastly too far ahead at this point in order to stop. He's going for that Rylai next, so.
Well, they prevented Chris from going back as well. Look at that bouncing bomb doing so much damage onto Ziggs.
Yep, and
pretty scary.
They can just pretty much stay here indefinitely.
Yeah, I mean, as much as the Flash Wolves dominated MYM, we're seeing that same level of domination from MYM over ESC Icebox right now.
Well, MYM just looks much more comfortable on these champions.
And they do, yeah. I mean, looks like Mackler's going to get a bit caught here. We'll see if he can get away. Doubtful, but he'll give it a shot. Flashing over the wall, trying to get in range. There's the roots. Blocks him up.
Three-man
Mackler dodges the Ziggs ultimate, but still not quite enough.
He actually got caught in the edge of the shark circle there. The Ziggs ult missed, but he still managed to get hit by it when it was on the ground. So A little bit overly played right there. They didn't have a lot of wards inside the jungle to watch that gank attempt by ESC, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, they're nearly 7,000 gold up at this point, and again, it's just the story of Kuban here with his massive items. He's just getting so tanky with Rod of Ages nearly completed in terms of stacking, and also now the Rylai's finished for him. There's just nothing they're going to be able to do to stop his split pushing.
Yep. It's going to be pretty tough. Shasu's trying to level up his, or skill up his Q as much as he possibly can. He's at about 200 right now.
Here's a port coming
damage.
in. So Kuban, look at that. He pushes that lane, then comes in from behind so he can get some more kills here.
Oh, they're going to go on to Fail Factory for the guaranteed kill. There's the flip, and that's going to be it. They're going to just let the poison finish him off. Actually, Mikade having to turn around. A little bit sloppy, but they do get him. So 1 kill out of that. They get the slow onto Dose. Dose may be in a little bit of trouble. There's the flip. They're going to back off again. Yeah, they can be satisfied with
Kuban popping the ult right there, too. Whoa. Now we're going on to Chris, getting a little bit of damage onto him. Chris not looking to turn around at the moment. Oh, a kick backwards.
Nice flash, but a flash from Chris over the wall as well. They can't pursue. Get that summoner out with the ult. And then the playful trickster back over the wall, and he dodges the Q. Nice moves from Chris.
Yeah, Ace of the Hole finally manages to hit him right there.
Yeah.
And we are pressing forward onto this turret. Finally, the mid lane turret going down. Only a few hits left. They're 5-man sieging now. They are in a good place, Doa.
Oh, yeah. I really, really don't think ESC Icebox is going to be able to come back from this one. That tower getting low. ESC needs to make some sort of engagement here. Fail Factory walks up. Doesn't use that crescendo. Maybe could have done that. Gets locked up. There's a Zyra ultimate. And Sona gets blown up. Wow. Barrier pop, though, by Mackler. Chris came over the wall onto him. And Fail Factory, I feel like, really unfortunately lived up to his name there. He had an opportunity for a really great crescendo, didn't take it, got deleted, and now that turret, possibly inhibitor, are in trouble.
Yeah, they continue to shove forward. The tower nearly dead. Looks like we're still having some lag issues right here.
I guess Kuban gets tossed in the middle of everything. Libic gets a little bit of damage in. They finally do get the shutdown. Chris shuts down Kuban. That's a lot of gold there. Mackler needs to back off. Dose. There's a double kill for Mackler. Chris with the kill finally on that one. And Zaru and Mikade trying to finish off Chris. Fail Factory coming in. Back alive again, but the shutdown goes to Zaru. And Sona does not want to tangle with that one. 1v1.
No, they could just back off, of course, get the blue buff right now, spend some of that gold, and then move in for the inhibitor later. They again have that huge zoning pressure from Zyra, Ziggs, and Caitlyn, so they should be just fine. A little bit of a sloppy trade, but a lot of money right now. As we can see, Kuban up about 3,500 gold currently on Shasuj. So the advantage by no means small. Now has a Haunting Guise to complement the rest of his build.
Wow.
213 AP and already 3,400 or so life. So he is well up on Nasus.
Oh, yeah.
And interestingly, Scott Lowell opting for a Blade of the Ruined King first build on Ezreal. A little bit unorthodox. We've seen that once or twice before. I personally don't think that it's particularly effective, but if he feels he needs to sustain in some of these team fights.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of nervousness. I mean, they've chased him so hard all game long, and it's just a little bit of fear for Ezreal.
Well, he's also been farming alone by himself as well, so if he wants to get into a dual situation or escape from something, but Kuban continually to be Shasuj's nightmare.
They get the wrap-up. Dose coming in to go on to Kuban. There's the Zyra ultimate. Fail Factory can't quite get in on this. In range, though, with his abilities, and Kuban just trying to go one-man army. Oh! The failed crescendo hits nobody.
And Makate coming in here. He does have that execute.
Whoa,
pops
in.
Yeah, pops in. Doesn't quite get him, but 3 low, and that'll lead to a pretty successful siege on the turret.
And doesn't finish anybody off, but it does prevent that recall.
Yeah, that's crucial at this stage. You know?
Oh, yeah. That's going to help them take this tower. No problem. And they'll get it. Nearly a 10,000 gold lead. No turrets lost by MYM. They're up 6 on their opponents.
Well, their pressure has just been merciless this game.
Yeah.
And that's gotten them a pretty spectacular lead here.
Yeah, ESC Icy box in a lot of trouble.
They lost control of their buffs for effectively this entire game right now. True Shot Barrage will prevent a couple of recalls, but MYM will just split up.
Yep.
Recall.
I don't think they're too worried.
Regroup, and then make another move on the map. Pretty solid warding, though, from ESC in their own jungle.
Well, you need to have that vision. That's the only way you could conceivably make a comeback in this particular situation. They clear out the ward. That turret's still with half health. It's amazing just how much health the turrets for MYM have at this point. At 22 minutes in, that's insane.
And now this push will be quickly stuffed because we see everybody returning right now to deal with this shove.
They wrap up Shuz again. More damage put onto him.
Yeah, they decided they didn't even need Caitlyn down there. She's going to try and push out this wave, pick up that farm.
I'd agree. Might as well save that other bottom turret, make sure everything's pushing. And they're going to go, whoa, Makade going in way deep, 1v4, manages to get out. Bombs over the wall, and there's the Ziggs ultimate just to soften up the team a bit. They've nearly killed Fail Factory. Kuban gets caught by the Ziggs ultimate, and here comes Dose onto Zaru, pops the zonias immediately. Mackler over the top, trying to zone out, backing off to the right side of the fight now. He's going to have to try to kite Shuz, zoned out very nicely by Olympic's ultimate. Chris low as well as Shuz goes down.
But here's the real danger. Kuban coming in.
Yeah, he's coming in
from
hard
the side,
now.
using his ultimate to speed himself up. Will they go for it, or will they just try and rush this minion wave down to the inhibitor? Probably the better idea at this point. They did trade 1-for-1, and there's the crescendo hitting Mackler.
That's right. Barrier immediately popped by Mackler, though doesn't take a lot of damage out of the engaged by Dose, who just explodes after Mackler hits him with that headshot. There goes another inhibitor, or rather an inhibitor.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Scott Lowell is here, but he's going to get zoned out by Kuban. Actually plays it a little
bit tight
risky,
there.
Yeah. Mackler continuing just to auto him.
Oh, has to pop that barrier, nearly goes down.
And his flash as well. That was definitely not worth it, considering he was unlikely to save that inhibitor anyway. Chris still in the jungle.
He is, but there's nothing that he can really do at this point. Libic, can he get those? Nope, can't quite get the root. Mackler, does he have the ultimate available? Nope, not quite. And he's going to have to back off too, over pursuit a little bit, very low on health. And there's a nice zone with that. Slow from Kuban on Singed.
Yeah, had a Caitlyn trap there as well. Ooh.
Oh, whoa, Libic. Very, very low. Scotlaw comes over the wall with the Arcane Shift. Can he get the kill? Missing shot nearly takes out Libic. And there's the roots.
Afterwards as well. The Hextech Minefield showing him down, but there is the danger of the Baron right here. So Jaru.
That Ziggs ultimate was perfect. I mean, this Baron's going to be so hard.
And here's the teleport coming in from Kuban.
Yeah, Kuban's going to end this right now. Coming in really deep. They're going to jump onto Dose right away. Chris tosses in the ultimate. Doesn't matter, though, because of Zara's Zonia.
Yeah, Kuban and Jaru are just killing everybody right now. Great poke coming in. There's the ace in the hole to help it out. Mackler will pick up the kill.
Man.
On to Fail Factory. Chris on the hunt for Makate. Makate going to get away from that one, and now they have to go back, deal with this super minion wave, pressing into their base. Chris between a rock and a hard place. They're preventing him from going back.
Yeah, he certainly is. Tries to get out of that with the playful Trickster. Mackler chasing him, doing a lot of damage. There's the river. There's the mid lane. Well, we'll assume that. Oh, okay, there's Fizz. Didn't quite know where he ended up.
Fizz trying to stop this, but not going to be able to put any pressure on this Baron attempt. Coming in, few wards, still in the pit. They're not doing a good job of clearing him out finally, but here's a teleport in from Shasuj.
Oh, yeah, Shasuj coming in onto Nasus with the teleport two-shot barrage over the top. It does get Kuban very, very low. Makata in the top, tosses Shasuj in the middle of the fight. I don't know if that's what he wanted to do, but they're going to take him down so fast that it doesn't even matter. And another little win for MYM. They don't get the Baron, but at least they come out of it with no deaths and a kill.
Well, MYM, they're probably a little sloppy to not clear out those wards quite quick enough. It did give an opportunity for ESC to engage right there, since they knew for sure that Baron was being done. So instead they have to wrap it up again and make a second attempt, but they lost a little bit of that minion wave in the mid lane. It's not quite as deep in the base or as much of a threat for ESC as it was before, but the incredible buff control continues from MYM that they've had for most of this game so far.
Yeah. Well, Fail Factory clearing up a couple traps here and there. Always a good thing to do. Yeah, 11,000 gold lead now for MYM. They're going to go ahead and grab this dragon as well, and I don't think there's a whole lot that ESC can do to contest that. Well, make that nothing. No true shot barrage even at this point.
Yeah, MYM has a commanding lead, but now they just need to close it out. They need to play a little bit more aggressively. Throughout this entire game, they've been kind of playing in reserve. We saw some plays in River early on where if Mackler or Libic had been more willing to flash into a fight, they probably would have picked up some kills.
Yeah.
And I appreciate the caution with which they are taking these games, but at a certain point, it's better just to force plays and close when you have a lead, because you can sustain quite a few lost team fights before your opponent can come back, and you just don't want them to farm themselves back into relevancy over the course of a longer game.
Yeah, there definitely is such a thing as being too cautious.
Especially against a Fizz. Chris is very dangerous in a pick right now. He can take out pretty much anybody but Singed pretty darn easily.
Yeah. So for now, they're going to content themselves with clearing out some wards, wait for those lanes to push a little bit more.
Yeah, lots of wards going down here already. In fact, double warding bushes just to make it take longer for them to clear it out. There we go. Looping around the side. So they're buying themselves just a little bit of time, but ward control has now gone entirely in MYM's favor in the upper jungle of ESC.
Yeah. Really not a lot ESC can do anymore. Yeah, more damage coming in from Zaru, but not connecting with anyone.
Here we go. Zaru right there. There's the true shot barrage coming to check on Baron. They do see
Baron
it's being done.
Taken. Yeah, it's time. This is it. ESC needs to make a move. Chris, nice slow. Look at how they're using Zyra and Ziggs to just slow up the team. Nice ultimate as well on top of the Ziggs ult. Dose very low. The 2v5 not doing back. Crescendo over the wall. Baron does get taken. Chris steals it. And they're going to try to capitalize. Zaru with the Zonias. Can they close him out? Mackler, triple kill for Chris already after that Baron steal. I can't believe it. ESC takes the team fight. Zaru, the last man standing. Kuban finally does pick the kill up.
And that's the danger right there of this Fizz. You let him farm and you let him get a few items and he can absolutely wreck your team. But Chris has been the dangerous player all game. He has 10 of the 12 kills that ESC has managed to acquire and had a pretty decent laning phase as well.
Yeah, as rough as it's been for the rest of the team, he has done well.
Yeah, wow, fantastic play there.
Yeah.
From Chris, really standing out this game. Even as their inhibitor comes back up, they will be able to stop the super minions from taking it down a second time. But
yeah,
that was a good all-in, a good response from ESC, seeing that Baron attempt. And
we've still got the Baron buff on Scottlaw and Chris, so all the big damage on that team has Baron right now.
Right, and Fail Factory's crescendo right there was fantastic. That gave
that
Chris,
made up for the other one.
Yeah, that gave Chris the opportunity to get into the pit and use his burst to actually steal that.
Yeah.
So the setup there, solid from the support.
Well, Mackler try to do something in this mid lane, and have we seen a bit of a shift in momentum here? It's still 7 turrets to 0. I mean, it's still going to be really hard for ESC to come back, but looks like MYM's going to try to set up a pick here.
Yeah, well, they don't want to just go ahead and siege while the Baron buff is still up. Charu also doesn't have a blue buff right now, which does make it slightly more challenging for him in terms of spamming those abilities that he really needs.
Yeah.
Oop, and they're still trying to get some roots over the wall right there.
Well, the secret's kind of out now.
Wow, Chris is he's got a lot of items. Once he gets that Void Staff, he's going to be even more terrifying.
Yeah. Well, here he comes.
There we go.
Charu using that satchel charge. The Ziggs ultimate doesn't hit anybody.
Chris taking a lot of damage from that minefield, however.
Yeah. Got to be careful with that.
All right, Caitlyn in the bot lane, so this may actually be the first turret of the game in terms of ESC. They cleared out the minion wave, but with the cannon still there, no problem. ESC gets the first tower.
They do get it. And Ace in the hole goes down, and Scottlaw is a bit low already. Makade coming over the top. Libic comes in with that Zyra ultimate. Ziggs as well. The Zonians for Charu immediately. And here's the chance for MYM to come back. Chris still tearing people apart completely, and Kuban not quite able to get the damage on fast enough. Mackler gets withered, gets slowed down, dodges that true shot barrage, but here comes the rest. And now Kuban trying to kind of give Mackler the opportunity. He's got that Bloodthirster. He can regen some health.
Oh, Mackler really playing with fire right there.
Yeah. Barely
dodging that true shot barrage, and Kuban decides it's better just to back out right now. But fight goes in favor of ESC. Another kill handed to the monstrous Chris.
Yeah, 11-1-2 already this game. Pretty astounding score from this guy.
Yeah, and Nasus, continues to get tankier and tankier. They have
Yeah.
a lot of armor across the board. So this Caitlyn, who went for a Bloodthirster instead of the faster Infinity Edge, is going to have a problem dishing out damage. And Charu, his build, he's finally about to get that Seraph's Embrace, looks like. So that'll be a big power spike for him, considering he's had some issues staying alive against Chris once he gets into the back.
Yeah. So MYM, their job to push up the lanes again. Try to get the map flowing back into their favor, and there's not going to be a whole lot of time left on the Baron buff for ESC.
Yeah, they're just going to push it up right now, use whatever time they have left, but this is smart. Dragon spawning right now, and MYM already there.
Yep, they're going to get that one, no problem. The Dragon's not going to be live for long, but meanwhile, Chessuge takes down the top lane turret. They're going to give the Dragon over to MYM, but the turrets, I would say, definitely more worth it than the Dragon at this point.
I mean, the outer turrets, it's not the biggest deal in the world, but yeah, it would be nice to have that extra map pressure. And they're going to pick up blue buff. They need to start thinking about sieging again. I mean, MYM can't play this passively. They have to set up a siege, ward their flanks, and use this Singe to peel, use Singe and Zyra to peel when necessary while just chipping away at that inhibitor, but they should be making a move.
We'll see. Baron up in just 2 minutes again. So if anything's going to happen, it's going to happen soon. And there's the flash ultimate. They're going to get onto Mackler fairly low. He's going to flash Sig's ultimate onto Kuban in the back. The zoning attempt from Libic with the Zyra ultimate doesn't work too well. Dragon's Rage kicks Shuza out of the fight. Libic gets 1 kill already. Charu doing as much damage with those bombs as he can. 3 kills already for MYM. They're going to trade fairly even here, 2 for 3 so far. And Chessuge still alive, forcing the flash out of Charu. Man, Nasus is getting just as tanky right now.
Well, that's the problem. They need that
trouble.
Caitlyn in order to deal damage right here.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just impossible. Makate trying to get the XU. Libic getting really low. Scotlow gets bounced in, actually.
Oh, man, Scotlow goes down to Charu, and things get turned around in a big way. Makate coming in onto Chessuge, but he's not going to be able to quite finish him off. Or is he? I don't think so, yeah. With the Wither, definitely not.
All right, well, the Nasus will ghost out, but 3 members still up. Baron up in 50 seconds.
Yeah.
So everybody will be alive for that one again. And there's not that inhibitor down like there was last time, so nobody pushing up either. Dose coming in with the home guard boots just in case. But yeah, there's still not enough damage. Mackler really needs that Infinity Edge right now. Abyssal Scepter coming down onto Kuban. That'll also be very useful for this Ziggs, but they're just waiting for their last couple of items, because once the Seraphs is done, once the Infinity Edge is done, MYM finally should have enough damage to clean this one up. But this is the danger of extending these games. They had a lot of opportunities already to close and close safely.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to kind of be cautious and make sure that you have the game solidly in hand. It's another thing to be a little bit overly cautious and give your opponent a chance to come back. It's hard to find that balance, even at the pro level, you know?
Yeah, it certainly is. Well, ESC doing a good job of clearing out the Baron buff right now. Waiting for it to come back. It is back, in fact. And so the vision control going over with them, making it very dangerous for Libic to go out.
We'll see what happens. They may just decide to push this mid lane instead, and it looks like so far that's going to be the plan.
Yeah, this is a smarter plan. They really don't want to contest that right now.
Yeah.
So here we go. Back up the mid lane.
Right, that is a vulnerable inhibitor in the base of ESC Icy box.
Yeah, warding the flanks right there. This is what they want. Kuban, there are the zones. This is how you play this composition. Nice work so far by MYM. This should be an inhibitor.
So low, the Ziggs ultimate comes in, and Dose gets into the back lines. Nice knockups there, gets the slam on the Mackler. Really good crescendo over the top, but Kuban already disrupting the back lines. There's that Zyra ultimate, and does MYM actually need to back off here? They may. The flash comes out of Libic, and Charu gets the first kill. Seshu's a bit low. They're going to take the inhibitor, and I've got a feeling, we're going to see them walk away now. So killing an inhibitor, not bad.
Yeah, now they have a chance to actually clear out the wards, so much better opportunity to do that safely at this moment. Scotlow looked like he had a bit of mispositioning right now, somehow ending up in the front of that team fight.
Yeah.
Well, we could be quite happy to take out some pink wards, get a little gold for himself. And Kuban, you know, he's still 4K gold up, but Nasus is just scaling so hard into the late game. In spite of Shasuch's 8 deaths, he's still hanging in there.
330 bonus for Siphoning Strike right now.
Yeah, pretty darn significant. But the wards going back, Livik will have to finally recall and heal. Kuban playing it a little dangerous right there, gets a ward in.
Kuban, I mean, he's not quite as invincible as he thinks he is, I think.
Oh, Chris gets slowed down, gets hit a little bit by that poison. Got to be careful. This Singe doing a lot of damage.
Yeah.
And here comes another Baron attempt. This one will be taken by Makate.
And they're going to jump on a Dose at the same time. Dose trying to get away. Can he make it over the wall? Bouncing Bomb doesn't stop him at all.
Wow, Kuban somehow managed to get Chris in that mess.
Yeah, where did that happen? Meanwhile, another turret goes down. Red Minion destroying that bot turret. And Sashi's in the middle of everything right now, along with Kuban. Kuban, does he have the ultimate? He does go ahead and use that. A lot of lag going on, but I'll try to keep track of things. Mackler picks up a kill, apparently.
And there we go. This may, in fact, be the final push right now. They do have 2 very important champions down.
I think so, man. I mean, as good as Scott Law has been this game, I don't think he can defend against this. And Fail Factory just sitting despondently by the fountain. There goes the first Nexus turret. Plenty of time yet until everybody comes back from ESC. There goes the Nexus. GG MYM. A little bit shaky in the late game, but overall a really solid game for those guys.
Yeah, they did a fantastic job of getting ahead early, but still issues closing with a substantial lead.
Yeah, not bad.
And allowing that Baron to be taken from them as well, and perhaps an ill-advised attempt. But that's going to be it for us on the main stage until tomorrow.
Right. Yeah, that's right. More League of Legends action coming in the next 3 days here on